What is up? Hey, everybody. Welcome to this season, the very first episode of the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. So if you don't know, my name is Nisaa Muhammad, and I just have the pleasure of joining in on the fun. But let me go ahead and introduce you all to the maker, okay, the owner, the founder, the real CEO of this thing, Miss Latasha J. Humphrey. Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I told you, like one of the best hype women ever,
Thank you. Thank you.
right? Woo woo. Now
Thank you.
it is awesome to be here tonight.
I know I'm super excited. It's a whole new season. Like we are really up in this thing. We really are.
I know, so 9 years.
Yes.
Yes, I was like from 2017 starting and January of that year and just kind of moving it forward and has, grown and evolved and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it.
I
Yeah.
love it. And nine is the number of completion. Okay. And they said 2025 is like a full circle year. So,
Hey, hey,
maybe
hey, come
we
on
we
now.
completing some cycles around this joint. Okay.
Hey, yeah. I know, I
Yes.
love it.
We have a lot of great stuff for you all this season. When I say like these episodes is really going feed the soul. Okay. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
it's gonna be better than soul food without the ending and Bird having to pay all that money and just all that all that fun stuff. Ain't gonna be no face at the cookout. We got some good stuff for y'all that's really gonna feed the heart, the mind, the soul. And I'm super, super excited. So before we get into it, boss lady, shall we hit the people with a
Hmm.
disclaimer?
I shall. I shall. Yeah, we got to keep it cute. All right. So,
Oh,
the views and opinions expressed in We Are Flora Pearl podcast are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated or any of its affiliated entities.
love that. Come on, vocals. And that's just a really nice, polite CP way to say if you have a problem with anything said in the podcast, talk to Nisa personally. Okay. Because if you've been around, I have no problem shaking it up, shaking it
She
down,
does
shaking the
not.
table.
She
Okay.
does not.
Yeah. All right. Yo. All right. So let's kick this thing off with one of my favorite ways to check in. It really is just seeing how you doing, how you feeling, sis.
Come on now. You know, Nisa. Oh, wow. I am in a season, it is of transformation,
Okay. Okay.
stepping out. And I feel like as it relates to being even more courageous, right? I
Mhm.
know I'm a Leo, right? So the shout out to the spirit of the lion.
Okay. Right.
Uh, and I know we're known for that, being courageous and different things like that. But I am looking forward to surprising myself.
Oh.
Yeah, in a real way. Almost, I don't know about scaring myself, but I'm in a season of transformation. That's
I
what I'm gonna
like
say.
she gonna astound herself. And
Hey,
you gonna
hey, yeah, yeah,
like that. Okay.
yeah.
Transformation, we like that. And that just goes with our 9 seasons, 9 years. I'm just saying. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
And you,
Um,
ma'am.
whew, I am a lot something I've been hearing a lot lately. We all know, I don't know if y'all know peoples, but I am a spiritual being. I'm really not religious. I grew up in like organized religion, but I am more attached to the spirituals because I just, it connects with me. But I've been hearing lately, like everyone's saying, like, be still, be quiet, be still and know, just be quiet. Even when I'm accidentally doom scrolling on TikTok or whatever, all these things come up and it's like, be quiet. So I am impatiently patient. That's how I feel it. I feel hopeful, but patiently waiting for whatever it is that comes next. Yeah, so I'm okay. Man, I'm just being still. I'm being still.
Well, Anissa, I told you now. That was the word.
Yes.
This is it's been, I think, what, a couple of months. So I know
Yeah.
you've seen it like in other spaces too, but I remember just me sharing kind of within the recent time with you on that. So I mean, that's it. And that's
Yeah.
that Psalms 46:10, but be still and know. That right there, so that's just a beautiful word, period. So
I know whatever good is coming. I know whatever I want is coming because I'm living in something that I wanted before, physically and all the other good things. So I'm just patiently hopeful. Let's get into it because we got such a theme. Gotta do my Cardi B laugh. So we had a theme last season. We were doing the pearls.
and
13
pearls.
Oh my goodness, they were amazing. We had some phenomenal guests. We learned so much about sales and about just women, just about Black women in every season. So it was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But let's get into this season because this season we're talking liberation, we're talking community, and we're talking connection. Okay. And like when I say y'all really not ready, but get ready because we're gonna do it. What better time than now to talk liberation, community, and connection? Okay? Okay, like what better time? You know what I mean?
Keeping it cute. Keeping it cute.
So let's talk about Brother Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture, if you know him by that name. And so just a kind of a brief overview of him, Stokely Carmichael, Mr. Kwame Ture, however you reference him, he symbolized a new direction in the civil rights struggle in 1966. And so he was the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and he exposed Black power, right? So that term that we always hear, that we see when we think of the Afro pics and that the freedom movement, Black power, he said it and people kind of coined it as his, and they were like, you know what? We like that. We're going to attach it to Brother Ture. And so he was charismatic. He was cosmopolitan. He was a man of the movement, and he was a prominent political figure in the 1960s, okay? Later on, he became an advocate of the Pan-African Socialist Revolution. All right. So he moved to African nation of Guinea, and then he took on the name Kwame Ture. And so that's why you'll hear us either refer to him as Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture, because just being respectful of, his transition into who he became and who he ended up being to the movement in and of itself. So, Boss Lady, what you got about Brother Carmichael, Brother Ture?
So I do want to play the clip. I seem peaceful. So you all just enjoy the clip.
There's a difference between peace and liberation, is there not? You can have injustice and have peace. Isn't that correct?
You can have peace and be enslaved.
Yes. So peace isn't the answer?
No.
Liberation is the answer?
Yes, of course.
Okay, then that's what you should talk about, never peace. That's the white man's word, peace. Liberation is our word.
But you will want peace in the end.
Yes, but you can't have peace until everybody's equal.
But you seem free at the moment.
I seem peaceful at the moment.
You seem free.
I seem peaceful.
Man, okay, listen. Can we first of all talk about how I love the directness of it. It's very subtle. It's very much like, this is it. A lot of times when we have conversations or when we're asked a question or someone brings us a statement, like we have to give this whole whatever to bring comfort to our answer. And he was just like, I said what I said. Like, what are we doing?
Well, and very much so. And even, initially, I know kind of us sitting down and even thinking about liberation period, with that being kind of the theme of this season, of the podcast for 2025. I remember hearing that was that particular clip, the fact, just the way that he handled himself and the way that it was, like you said, very direct, but just peaceful. Yeah. And when he even literally says, I seem peaceful at the moment. That for me, it was wonderful. It made me want to even look up more about who he is and just period about the movement. It's like so many different things. Like I do remember, hearing his name, whether we say Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture. It's like hearing either or, but really just made me want to learn more. more information so that I could continue on my journey and doing, and it's almost like it's adding to the tools that I already have. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I love that. Yeah. No, I love it because like when I see and y'all should know by now if y'all been listening for a while, y'all should know we grew up pro black in my house. Okay, I had a very black household.
Yeah, well, yeah, the
No, very black household. Okay.
same. People thought my mom was a Black Panther. I'm
Okay.
just saying. I
Listen.
know we come from the shy, so
Okay. The
so
revolution was
I
not
understand.
televised in my
But
household.
no, go ahead.
Listen, okay, the revolution was televised in my household, okay? We very much was up in there. But no, like even when I hear how he speaks, I think that there is just something, if he hadn't said a word, if he would have just looked at that man, would have spoken 10 million different ways of I seem peaceful. And it kind of puts me in the mind of that clip with Delroy when he's on the when he's on that interview.
Say it.
He's like, say it. I'll say it with you. And it reminds me of like a time when there was fear or no shame in standing in what it is that you say you believe and who it is you say that you are and what you want, not just for like yourself, but also for like your people as a whole. And it's when you showed me the clip, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
And we can have a conversation. We can be civil if you're civil.
Okay. Otherwise, we can't get into some stuff.
That's how I'm coming.
No, really.
I'm not coming to, do anything other than that. But where we going? Because you kind of dictate how this is gonna move.
You feel me? Like, yeah, like what you so I want what you want.
Well, hey,
I want what you want. What's that?
I'm coming to seem peaceful at the moment, right?
You feel me? Can we keep it cute? Can we keep it? Yeah. I love that. And you know what? So you know me and my words. So I pulled the word peace because I was like, the whole concept of the video that I took away from it was like, he's like, I just don't understand the interviewer. I just don't understand how you can you're just so at peace. And he's like, no, I seem as though I am. But like,
well, even him saying, he said, you seem free.
Yeah. And he's like,
I seem peaceful.
Like,
no, you're free. That's why he said, I seem peaceful at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I looked up that word peace, peace is defined as freedom from disturbance, aka tranquility.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if you've ever lived this Black life, I don't know if y'all have heard the TikTok sound or anywhere online where it's like, when you're Black, you're never truly alone because there's always somebody else up in your business. And so for the Toure to say, like, I seem peaceful at the moment. At that moment, he was free of disturbance. He had a sense of tranquility. But like you were saying, Miss Humphrey, it could have easily have been something else. Then where's the peace? Where's the freedom then, right?
Right.
And when we get back into this definition, right? So we say freedom from disturbance, tranquility. And if we define disturbance is the interruption of a settled and peaceful condition, right? And I think that's wild when we honestly think about language, because there's always a lot of language tossed around, especially for lack of a better phrase, when something needs to be reinvented or to appear fair seeming or to appear like it's, we're doing this for you guys. The language always changes and it sounds good. Like they won't say, oh, we're doing this. They'll say, oh no, we're redecorating. It's like, no, y'all are breaking what ain't broke instead of adding on or, doing what you can to revitalize it or really help it. You're just literally coming in and knocking everything down and doing something completely different. So yeah, language plays a huge part, I think, in like the liberation of our people, not just knowing the language, like you said, being able to articulate time and place and all that good stuff, but also being able to know what it is that you're saying and mean it and stand on it so that when opportunities or incidents occur, you're able to say what you mean and mean what you say. That way no one can misconstrue it unless they just want to.
No, that's exactly it. And then too, disclaimer too, we even talked about the pro Black.
Yeah.
For those who don't understand that you could be pro something and not against anything else.
Hello.
I do want to make sure that that's there, because
Hello. Hello.
people tend to hear what they want to hear.
Hello.
Like I said, when you said too with the choosing, it's like the choice is that's what we are. So would you think we'd be anything other than that? Like, I would be pro what I am. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for me not to be. However, it is not to put down something else. And that we don't always get that though in return.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I agree with you. I think and there is realistically speaking, there is a uncertainty and a fear of like, oh, like they're empowered, or oh, they feel, whatever. But it's like, I can say proudly, I am a Black woman. That's just the statement. That's a
Right.
actual factual. You look at me, you could tell it. It's not me saying I'm a Black woman and everybody else go kick rocks and flip flops. It's I'm a Black.
Right.
I
Yeah.
I love to hear Black women sing. That's not me saying, if my girl Christina Aguilera pick up the microphone, I'm not going to eat you, get you, yah with her. It's just saying, when it comes to anything in life, I consider the standpoint of where I'm sitting. Like, you look within first, and that's always going to be what's done. You know what I mean? Like, you must.
Correct.
They always say you can't pour from an empty cup. How am I pour from an empty cup, especially when it comes to like the wellness of others or advocacy for others, if we're not even taking care of home?
This is true. Yeah. And I mean, we talk about being an advocate for others. That's I can specifically say in my DNA, it is about that. It is about, and I am passionate about women, girls, and youth and families. That's a no brainer. So it's not that I don't even care about humanity. I do. That is the reason why I'm an advocate. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel that way. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it definitely is that. And it almost begs the question, like, what really, like, if I could really sit down and have the conversation without, people's emotions and whatever, it's like, what is the expectation, right? Because let's be honest. If we're talking liberation, we're talking community, we're talking connection. We were brought here. We were brought to a place where we don't speak the language. The years, the decades, everything that has kind of gone on from slavery to civil rights era to today, and it's like, what is really the expectation when you look at all of the trauma and just the horror that Black people have historically faced? Where and why is the expectation for us to look out for anyone else first? Like, shouldn't it be, this happened to you all, this is still happening to you all, of course you all should take care of home. Like, you should make sure that your house is in order. It doesn't negate and it doesn't take away from the care that we have for other people. You know what I mean? People of other races or genders or ethnicities or whatever. It genuinely is just, why is everyone else afforded the luxury to be like, oh, this is a such and such matter, or this is a such and such matter, or we need to do XYZ 1, 2, 3. And everyone's just like, yeah, absolutely. We can fund that. We can support that. And then when it comes to something as simple as, we might want a grocery store that ain't a food desert area or whatever, then all of a sudden it's, y'all tripping, y'all being this and y'all being racist, which, disclaimer, Black people cannot be racist. It is literally impossible. That's not, y'all got to look up
now. Explain that, Nisaa.
Yes, because words mean things. Hold on.
And they do.
Words mean things. Okay, let me pull up my, hold on. So we're going to pull up my good friend, the dictionary. Racism. And I don't want no AI on it. I just want regular. There we go. All right. The definition of racism: the structures, policies, practices, beliefs, and behaviors in a society that create an unfair advantage for some people and unfair or harmful treatment of others based on their race or ethnic group. I'm gonna say that one more time because I know some of y'all might have turned it down. So just in case y'all back, hey, how you doing? The structures, policies, that's laws, guys, practices, beliefs, and behaviors in society that create an unfair advantage for some people and an unfair or harmful treatment of others based on their race or ethnic group.
Well,
Y'all tell me, yeah, pull it up in a history book. Y'all show me where Black people have ever been on the winning side of this rat race we call life. And then tell me again how we can be racist. Can we be prejudiced? Absolutely. Could we be
Okay.
racist?
Yes.
It's not systemically possible. It's just not.
That's good.
Yeah. Words mean things.
They do. We know that.
Yeah. Really do. Slippery slope, because what tends to happen is it's like people will hear a word and there's so much, we call them trigger words. There's so many trigger
Yeah.
words, so many buzzwords, and there's so many things that make everyone feel like they're so informed. And this 3-second clip or this 10-second clip makes them feel like they've got a PhD in humanities and all that. And it makes them believe that they know, versus, like you said, you saw a clip of Brother Touré and you said, let me go look and learn more. Why not do that?
And even though the person looks like me, some people can think, oh, well, I know all there is to know. I do not. I can learn from a child.
Yeah.
Because I'm open to. Let's be clear. If you're open to, you can learn from anything, anyone, any place. If you are not, no matter what the color, then you remain ignorant. In my opinion, if you're in this life, you should be learning and growing. I say that all the time. Learning and growing is key on this journey. You shouldn't be existing. And Absolutely. If that's all you're doing, I'm not saying tap out. I'm just saying, like, get out the way.
And that's word to ludicrous, because it's ludicrous. See what I did there? Because it's ludicrous. No, but it is. It's like, genuinely, and social media has allowed people to just feel like they are the godfather of information, like they're the end all be all, and they have the final say. And that's dangerous, because we shouldn't have this access to everybody's thoughts. We just shouldn't. Everybody should not, and I'm not saying you don't have freedom of speech. Whoa. Y'all put that in your policies. That's the laws, guys. You put that in there. Okay, fine. Freedom of speech. That's fine. That's cool. You have the freedom of speech. But shouldn't there be some type of something where it's like, if whatever you're saying is just outright wrong? I'm not going to say stupid. I'm not going to say dumb, because, that's a judgment I can't make on everybody. But if what you're saying is just a flat out lie, you just fear mongering, or you just pulling stuff out your head, or you're just like, yeah, my cousin.
Or as they say, rage baiting,
yeah, or trolling or whatever. Like, why is that? Like, why, instead of gathering the information for oneself, why is everyone's thing kind of just to go with it? Like, we're playing a universal game of telephone, and it's detrimental, especially when you think about like the fact that they have made so many books banned, like so many books written by African American or POC authors are banned, or when you think about the education rate, or just any of those things. Like, when you really think about what information we have and how it impacts the people who are getting the information, shouldn't there be more of a desire to want to know what it is that you don't know?
There should be. And it's unfortunate that there isn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. There is a lot. So like with people who, if you're not who I'm connected to through purpose, I'm not concerning myself, because you're going to purposely do things to either trigger me, like you're going to purposely do things to hurt me, or different things like that. So my focus is not you, because it can't be. Or I would go crazy. My thing is, I have to know that there are enough people who I'm connected to through purpose that they are doing the same thing that I did when I heard that clip. Dig deeper, learn even more, so that I can share, whether it be on this podcast or through conversation, because that's how you learn. Learning is not just education-wise, or education even is not just within four walls. I've said that for years now. I always believe education could be you talking to someone.
Yeah.
It could be you at the grocery store. You could be out at the park. Just information, something that you get that's new, is added to what I call like your toolbox, your arsenal, of knowledge.
Yeah.
Where you learn, you say, oh, I could do this differently. I mean, it's like a recipe. How can I cook this a certain way versus maybe what I've done in the past? Or it can be a new recipe. And I say all that to say, there are just some people who are choosing not to. And
Yeah.
but it's enough of them. I hear what you're saying though. It's enough of them, unfortunately, that they the ones probably talking the most. Because I
Yes.
don't get online like that and go in and have to argue with everybody and all of that. So a lot of
Yeah.
us who we mind our business and we stay out the way, we're not on there as much. But I do feel like we are living life though
Yeah.
with the
Absolutely.
people that we are impacting that are doing the work. Because the people normally online, you talking so much, you ain't doing that for real to help nobody. You helping yourself.
Yeah. just to yell and be heard.
Right,
And
and
there's
then get
nothing
your
wrong
likes
with
and
that.
views and
Like,
all of that. You
yeah.
and it's room for fun. Nobody's telling you not to have fun. I just say don't be ignorant. And
Miss Humphrey will tell y'all, and my students will tell you too. The one thing I ain't nothing more dangerous than an ignorant Black person. Ain't nothing more dangerous. I'm trying to tell you right now. That's why Harriet chose not to take some of them across the way. Because some of y'all were just a little too excited to be where y'all was at. I'm telling. And if she could have left a couple more, I'm just saying, the revolution might not. You know what I'm saying? You might have just been all right. Speaking of revolution, right? And we keep coming back to like peaceful, keep coming back to really the community part and everything. I wanna give the definition for this word liberation, right? The theme this year is liberation, community, and connection. Liberation is the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. It's release. Yeah.
Well,
and so here's my thing, right? When we talk about liberation, that was Brother Touré's message. That was the message when you think about like that era, the 60s, and the Black Power movement, the Panthers, all of that. Their message was liberation. They wanted Black people to be liberated, right?
and they wanted equality for everyone. When you even think about Brother Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
It really was we're gonna connect together. It wasn't I'm this outcast and I'm by myself. It was us together. How do we come together?
How do we do that? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so equality for all. That's what, if you go even deeper into the definition, that's what it's talking about. It's equal. It can't, you can't have, even when they talked about when the man in the video, when he was saying to him, you seem free, you can't have that if people are not liberated. Like how there's still injustices, and like they say, you can choose to be free. I mean, excuse me, you can choose to be peaceful.
Yeah.
But this still, no, until there is justice for all, what we say, the Constitution, even in this country in particular, is about, that's not, you can't say that and it's still, there's not liberation for the people.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because it's backwards. It's it really doesn't make sense. And it's almost like, how dare you take offense that I see that you have all the things, or majority of the things, and I'm just asking for my piece of it. Like I'm not asking for, I'm not asking for your half. I'm not asking for something that's not earned, because if we really want to take it there, we could take it there. I'm just saying. We not, but if we could, we could. But literally, how dare it be? Why are you asking? Or why do you feel like you have the right to be liberated? You know what I mean?
Why not? That's the question I ask.
Why not? Why not? And it gives me to mind of Langston Hughes' poem. Right? When we talk about liberation and we talk about like wanting and what the rights are of the people, it's the I Too Sing America. Oh, and Denzel, he did a wonderful job reciting this in The Great Debaters. Oh, I Too Sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to the kitchen. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. And those sound like just words, right? They sound like just pretty hopeful whatevers. But if you really dive into like what Langston Hughes is saying, I'm here too.
Yeah.
I am you all, not only did I not ask to be here, my forefathers didn't ask to be here, but they were brought here. Eventually the slaves were freed, quote unquote. Is it so much? Is it so much? Is it so much for me to get what is owed to me, what is mine? Because here's the fact of the matter. We're, like you said, you say often, we can't be a part of the system and not be a part of the system, right? So we still pay taxes, we still pay our bills, everybody has a social security number, like all of these things, all of this assimilation and all that good stuff. The mere thing that we are asking for is the opportunity to make sure that we can afford to pay our bills and sit at our table. We don't necessarily want to be at your table. And Black people, we so communal. We like, yeah, y'all can kick it over here too. That's why everybody got an invite to the cookout.
Unfortunately, but okay.
Unfortunately, but for some reason, it brings the shock and awe, the nerve for us to ask for.
Yeah. The unfortunate part of that is it's the bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care what a person looks like. There is no reason why anyone should not have the basic necessities, food, shelter, and clothing. Why, in what has been said as the richest country on the planet, that anyone is experiencing any of those things, they're lacking any of those.
Yeah. And they call it the land of opportunity. And it's like, that is the dream that is sold to so many of the immigrant children when they come over, or like when their parents first bring them here, or however they get here, whether they come first generation, second, or whatever, the dream or the goal is to have more and to do more. And it's disheartening because for people whose families do come from overseas, or their implants, or however they get here, it's disheartening for them, or to realize, even when you see it, that they brought their families here, and it's the same thing, just with a minor difference of maybe you don't have to worry about whether or not there's running water, or whatever the case may be, or if there's some type of a war going on or whatever. But it still is like, you get here and you're still treated differently. You're still expected to work twice as hard. The resources are not what they're supposed to be. And you're still treated as though you don't have a right to be in a place that technically, honestly, and naturally do not belong to anyone but the indigenous people. Brother Toure had it right. He said, I seem peaceful.
At the moment.
At the moment.
And that's a choice.
Absolutely. Because it's too much work to walk around all day filled to the chest with like anger and irritation about things that unfortunately not one person can change. And unfortunately, I love my people, but all skin folk ain't kin folk. And unfortunately, some of them like to play the game. That's their business. That's their business.
And they can do that. And so the game I shall play, which I'll create my own, right? And I'm going to do the one where I am going to love. Along with that, though, it is about liberation. When we talk about, like you said, the connection, the community, building community, and operating and leading with that. Like, that's what it's going to take. That's what I'm choosing, is what I'm saying. And for those who rock, and we can, rock together, cool. But it's like, if we can't, I'm okay with that too. I just say, one of my good friends, he always be like, stay over there though.
Okay.
Then I'm like, yes.
No, seriously. It's almost like when you hear about something nowadays, it's like, yeah, well, who are gonna be there? That's that's what it is. It's like, yeah, we having a such and such, we doing a movement for the okay, but who are gonna be there? Because
yeah, I'm like, not
the vibes.
That's okay. I'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah. No, it is that, and I like he said, like, I seem peaceful at the moment. I think that is definitely a choice. Like you choose, like, I know what the fight is for Black people. More specifically, I know what the fight is for Black women in this country, right? I know what's expected. I know what I desire. I know what has been desired. I know the path, that kind of has brought me here, and all of that beautiful stuff. And I also know how I feel about my people. and our
Yeah.
liberation and our connection and our community. And just being Black in general, like, it's very flytastic. I'm having a good time, okay? But I also know, like I said, I can't walk around puffed up at the chest all the time. Does that mean I don't care? Absolutely not. You ask anybody, they'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm
They'll
like,
tell you.
I'm not giving up my joy.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not. No.
Because that brings, because if you take away that joy and you allow something else to root or fester, the way that things are going, it just turns into something else. And it leaves room for something that is not, it's not productive. And then you are now an enemy of progress. Now you are an enemy of progress.
No, and in the realest way. As long as you respect me, I can give that back. That's how it is. And it doesn't, like I said, no matter who you are, if you treat me like you got some sense, cool.
I'm saying, just keep all that over. Don't come over here.
Right. Stay over there if it's not that. It's
Okay.
just, I mean, I'm open to having conversations with people who they act like they got some sense.
You feel me? We can all be peaceful at the moment.
Hey.
Seriously agree with that. For all of you all listening, it's important to know the history, no history period, right? Everybody's like, everything can't be one-sided or you need more than one viewpoint. Fine, that's perfectly fine. Then pick up a book and read it all. Read it all, come to your own conclusions, however you need to, but don't walk around uninformed. That is so dangerous. That to not know anything, they say, if you don't know your past, you're bound to repeat it. It sounds cliche, but y'all better read a book and look at 2025 in a real way.
Just saying, child.
Read a book and look. I'm telling you, take a look in a book. Read the room, boo. Okay. So my last little poetry piece for y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all be great. We're gonna get into some of our fun stuff. Dr. Maya Angelou, may she rest in peace.
Love her.
We're talking liberation, we're talking peaceful, we talked about disturbance. So let's talk about why the caged bird sings. Okay. Then y'all gonna understand why we gonna tie this whole episode together. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze and trades wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on the dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Wow.
Words mean things, I'm telling you. Oh,
that's some good stuff.
It really is, because it dawned on me as I was reading it, Miss Humphrey, what we're doing right now, we're not necessarily the caged birds in the sense of being caged, but we singing right now.
Come on.
Because the cage bird sings. When you can't do nothing else, guess we may not be, and it goes back to when you talk about people's places in the movement, right? Because everybody can't be on the front lines. That may not be what their
thing.
Yeah, it may not be the thing, but you can always be a singer. You can always sing. You can always talk about. You can always raise awareness.
And because one thing about, we talk about even with Pop, he said he may not be the one, but I will spark. And I don't know the exact word, but I will spark the brain. I will spark the person who will. That's the thing. And that's the point. So utilize, even when you say that, then use your voice. That's exactly what it is. Use whatever you have, as long as you are adding to. Yeah. Are you adding value? That's the thing. Yeah. If you are not, one of the things I say too, you don't always have to have something to say. If you are not adding value, why don't you think on that? I think before, when you said social media too, if some could just be like a strike of lightning or something, I don't know. Before you type that, be like, if it's like, not going to be a blessing, be like, wait a minute.
You know what? I need to hit send. I got a homegirl. Every time she sees something she thinks is silly on social media, she goes, I really wish people would get back to journaling.
Okay. Yeah. Now that's true.
The book and then close the book. Don't ever open it. Don't let nobody read these ancient.
Don't let nobody read these thoughts, right?
Yes. But no, I think it's beautiful because Dr. Angelou's poem kind of, and we're going back to Brother Touré, where he says, like, I seem peaceful at the moment. He's like, oh, you seem free. And it's like, no, I'm peaceful at the moment. Because the true freedom of it is being able to scrape the sky with your wings and being able to, like, your wings are not clipped. You have, like you said, the food, the shelter, the housing. Like, these are the things that you have access to. And there's no worry or concern about whether or not, because you speak up or because you're this or because you're that, you'll lose access to those things. Right. So in a way, it's man, it all ties together. It all ties together.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you.
No, yeah, that's a good thing.
Like that. Y'all better pick up a poem. Come on now.
Come on. And I love that too. I know that's something we were talking about doing anyway, making sure we highlight those who even came before us and who they've already put things out, as well as, bringing it even to present day, is bringing those things back so that people can hear them, be inspired by them, encouraged, empowered, however, and for them to take it with them. Because everybody's not going to necessarily hear the podcast. But even if it's one person, that one person can take it and then they'll touch the people that they come in contact with. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Good deal. No, I love it.
Yes. I love it. Let's talk about our inner child, because I think when we talk about, season 9, which is, that number is completion. And in the 2025, so 2 and 5 is.
It is. That's a 9.
2 is not. I'm just saying. We got a whole lot of patient hopefulness going on here. So let's think about our inner child. When we talk liberation, we talk community, we talk connection, right? Take a moment. I want you to think of one of your favorite summer memories, or just memory period from childhood. Let's think about your inner child there. I want you to think about what it smells like outside or around you, what type of weather it is, maybe what you're wearing or what type of music you hear, whose laughter is in the background, mixing with the sounds of either the birds or the snowfall. And then when you have a moment, tell me about that favorite memory.
It was definitely me visiting Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. And during the summer, those summers to me, it was community, it was family gatherings. So the elders in our family, they would make sure, we got together. It was just, family coming to different things. And then I do remember too and I say rest in power to her. Recently, my grandmother, Grandma Mary Dawes, she passed last month on September the 11th. But even I remember at her house too, it was where watching those stories with her, like, so she would have the they call them stories, but the soap operas, child.
Which one was your favorite?
And so it was Days of Our Lives or General Hospital, All My Children. It was all of them.
Yes.
And but having that time looking back, because it would be the little TV and all of that, because that's just how she rolled. But I would, jump double dutch with like friends on the block. It really was that. So that's when I think about, if you say like kind of those summer memories in that way, it would be, although we had moved to Birmingham, it was every summer, that was kind of my thing, and going there. So yeah, really is like community. It is connection. It goes back into that. And I do feel like, when you think about it, I don't feel like I had a care in the world. It was taken care of.
Yeah.
So just as a child, you look back on that. Those are some things that you can take for granted, I feel. And I know there are different things that have, occurred. Everybody has their different childhoods. So I'm not going to say everything was just so perfect, but in certain moments, if we spill out some memory moments that were feel good moments, I would say that's what it was.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Man.
And you?
Anytime I think summer, I I always think about cake. My auntie Frances was my dog, okay? It was cars, baby. Yo, April 23rd, don't play with it. But my auntie Frances, she would make all our cakes. Everybody's birthday. I'm talking, and it's about 50, 11 of us in my house alone. In my mama house alone, and then you tie in all the other kids and uncles and stuff. But it didn't matter whose birthday it was. If you had a birthday, Auntie Frances was gonna make you a cake, and she would make you whatever cake you want. I didn't have pineapple upside down, carrot cake, chocolate cake, pineapple cake, strawberry cake, and it's my favorite memory because we would all go to my grandmother's house, and we called her Mama. We'd all go to Mama's house over on the south side, and she had this she had this swing set out there, and it was huge, and it had a slide on it, and then she had a little blow up pool at the end of the slide for us, and everybody's cars would be on this little lot. It's supposed to be a driveway, but it's just rocks and gravel. And Papa's garden would be over in the corner, and he'd be either over there chewing tobacco, yelling at his tomatoes, or messing with his hounds. And it would just like you said, without a care in the world. Like not a single, and we would just get there, and the first thing we'd do is we'd ask for pop. We'd get us a can of pop and a bottle of water, and everybody would get their bikes and their scooters or whatever, and we'd go outside, and we'd stay out there until mosquitoes was full of us. And that was just everything. And there was laughter, and there was humor, and of course there were other things that took place. But when you talk about like really feeling a sense of family and community and being connected. It was like, because we were in that little horseshoe street. And nothing you could do on that little street that didn't nobody know. The minute you pass a house, Ms. Eula May would call, and and I saw so-and-so, and she was walking down the street with so-and-so, and she had on this, and before you could even get to the block, somebody be standing on the porch waiting for you. And it was such a great feeling. It was a feeling of safety.
Yeah.
It was a feeling of happiness. And I think it was like the fullest I just ever felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to this day, I could like name everybody sitting in the room and where they would sit and what they would be doing or where they'd be. And it always felt like family. Like it felt like freedom. It felt like happiness. It felt like what they call the American dream. It was that. It was that. Nobody left with an empty stomach. Nobody left without a take-home plate. You might mess around and get a couple dollars slid your way, some vegetables out the garden. But yeah, it felt like life was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're talking about
Yes, good stuff.
That's why you have to take even a little bit of that when you those things that were good. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you have certain moments, and everybody has their childhoods, and some just healing from certain things, right? But those memories, we talk about good memories and memories that you do take with you, and you add to that.
Absolutely.
as you grow, and then you add to those memories, and then you welcome even they say chosen family, different people along the way, and you meet friends and associates and all of that, and you add those memories. I just think it is good for those things that were good. It's okay to hold space in your heart for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, my
And you just heal from the rest.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. On the daily. And if you're not sitting on that lady couch, God go sit on that lady couch, okay? Or that man couch or whoever couch it is, go sit on them folk couch and talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, I like to say, I'm like, God gives you relatives, but you get to pick who your family is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true. That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love
Good.
it. Okay.
Oh, my.
Listen here, gentle listeners.
I know.
Look like Bridgerton, dearest Rita. No, listen, y'all. We've gotten through our first episode of season 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's complete. Oh, there's that word again. We're gonna look that one for the next episode. But listen, you lovely listeners, let us know in the comments below, what is one of your favorite childhood memories that felt like community, that felt like connection, that felt like liberation? You know what I mean? Let us know in the comments because we definitely want to know. And they all say we just what is it? Something separated? Wasn't it third degree separation?
I think the 3rd degrees of separation. Yeah.
We all cousins. So let us know so that we can go ahead and reminisce with your cousin because we was there too in spirit. So yes, Boss Lady, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up episode 1 of season 9?
I am grateful for you, and I appreciate it always. Audience, I appreciate you all. I always feel too that this reaches the right people when it needs to, and that's what we put out and what we say, and we're very grateful for a platform as YouTube to be able to put this on there so that people can come, they discover it or whatever the case may be, and it's for them. So I thank you all for those who continue to listen and support us and have done so since our 2017 debut. And so we're just very grateful for that and very appreciative. So, and I just say you all, thank you so much for being with us once again, and keep shining.
That's it. I don't got nothing to add to that. That's perfect. That was signing off. No, I think it was beautiful and brilliant, and that's that. So you all, we'll see you next time on episode 2 of season 9 of the We Are Flora Pearl podcast.
Yes.
Peace.